Hi everyone, and welcome to Jane Talks Real. It's nostalgia time once again, and today I'm going to be talking about The Karate Kid. The Karate Kid was a 1989 animated TV series based on the Karate Kid movies that ran for 13 episodes, and you know me by now, I had a VHS tape of it when I was a kid. The basic premise was that there was this little shrine that looked like a mini pagoda that got stolen from its home in Japan. Because said shrine had magical powers, Daniel, Mr. Miyagi, and a girl named Taki would track it all over the world and try and get it back from the bad guys who want to use it for ill. But at the end of each episode, the shrine would slip away from them again and the search would continue. The opening credits are so nostalgic. I mean, that's why we're here. The VHS had the first 6 episodes on it, so let's take a look at some of them, shall we? My Brother's Keeper starts with Daniel rowing Miyagi and Taki down a river in South America, because apparently the shrine is making the animals act all wackadoo. Meanwhile, some kid trips while running and uses its power to call birds to attack his pursuers, and the hubbub draws the attention of Miyagi, although Daniel's garbage rowing sends them all overboard. The kid gets caught again, so Daniel comes rushing out of the bushes and fights them, until he gets stuck in plot convenience mud. Then Mr. Miyagi swings in like Tarzan, but gets outnumbered by one extra guy and surrenders, telling Taki and Daniel to go on without him. Alright dude. Taki and Daniel run after the kid, but a jump scare lizard lands Daniel in the mud again.
This is quicksand! I'm sinking!
Sorry, in the quicksand. The boy throws him a vine, and geez, you'd think continuity would be easier in a cartoon. The kid is called Carla and he invites him to his place where Daniel, but thankfully not Taki, is put into this outfit. Mr. Miyagi is marched into the village and brought before Noah, who I'm fairly sure is voiced by Jim Cummings.
You must answer for this crime.
And he decides on death by alligator, so won't that be fun? Miyagi is dropped into the river, but Miyagi is a badass, so take that alligator, and he makes it back to Carla's hut. The next day, Daniel and Carla decide to pick a fight with the hunters, but Carla ditches Daniel, so Miyagi has to save his butt. Daniel wants Miyagi to train Carla to challenge Noah for the leader role, but Carla is puny and Noah is a giant. So Miyagi says no, so Daniel decides to train him instead. Wait, where are his nipples? Training goes as well as you can expect, and Carla storms off, only to be caught by a hunter. But after throwing one guy, he decides to challenge Noah immediately. Daniel decides to fight in Carla's place, but Carla grabs the shrine. And not only has fire gotten involved, but, Daniel, is your disguise really that convincing when most of your obviously not Carla skin is showing? Carla's shrine usage gets him and Taki caught, and Daniel is unmasked, so Miyagi has to rush in to save them yet again. The trio run off, leaving Carla and the shrine in the hands of Noah, which seems like a dumb plan because Noah uses the shrine and turns into a jaguar. Wonderful. It attacks the group, and what is with these spots? Why do some of them look like amoebas? Daniel does a dumb move that hurts his ankle, so Carla rushes up, using the shrine again, but his clumsy ass drops it in the river and he and the chief get into a fight, where the chief has to be rescued from the alligators by Miyagi.
Lucky for you, Miyagi feeling generous today.
Carla is now the new chief, and the trio row away in search of the shrine. In The Homecoming, you know what? I'm going to skip over all the fish nonsense and pizza delivery and point out that while in New Jersey, Daniel discovers that a subway mugger is his old gal pal. Some of these episodes, like the first one, I remember really well, while others I'm just going to skip ahead to the memorable parts. Daniel goes to his old hangout, the fair, where he runs into Tina and her dip-faced boyfriend Brick, who steals his homework on antique shops that might have the shrine, and Daniel does this crazy stunt to not actually get it back. Tina returns the list, so Daniel stupidly tells her about the shrine, and when they locate it, she yoinks it off him and gives it to Brick. After the shrine turns Brick into a spider, he plans to sell it, so Tina calls to warn Daniel, so he rushes to the roller coaster where he has to face down 3 versions of Brick. When the shrine starts to float away, everyone stupidly decides to climb the roller coaster, and...
Well done, Daniel-san!
Oh, the episode is over. The Tomorrow Man is pretty forgettable, where the trio track the shrine to Paris, but there is a sequence worth noting involving a psychic called the Amazing Roland. He apparently predicts the future, but his information is being fed to him through an earpiece. But hold up, where did this lady get the information from in the first place? The guy clearly smells BS and asks for details that the lady doesn't have, but the information just pops into Roland's head because of the shrine. and then he becomes a shrine GPS. Oh, and Taki does the can-can. The shrine spits out a little snow globe that tells the future, and that future involves dead Miyagi. But after a lot of bumbling, Daniel manages to prevent it and the shrine goes down the drain. In All the World His Stage, the trio arrive in London and immediately act like dorks.
Think we can, I think we can.
I think we can.
Their tip is the shrine is being used as a prop in a movie, and en route to investigate, Daniel saves some dude, but Miyagi drags him away before he can bask in the glory of his heroics. They make it to the studio where Daniel is ploughed down by a gaggle of girls all rushing to see a movie star named Kevin. When he and Taki climb the gate for a better view of that dude's car, they both fall onto it and are invited inside for some reason by Kevin, who says he's shooting a new movie.
King Arthur the Magnificent.
Taki and Kevin play dress up and he challenges Daniel to a sword fight, but the director yells at him to stop messing around and Kevin decides to cast Taki in the movie. When Daniel returns the sword to the stone, he unknowingly sticks it right by the shrine and the whole thing is taken to the set. While filming, a stunt goes wrong and Daniel has to jump into the rescue, and the director casts him as a stunt coach, but Kevin is not happy. The pair of them for some reason decide to practice their stunts on top of the castle, so of course Kevin falls and hurts himself like a dumbass. Daniel volunteers as his body double, but Kevin is furious and picks up the sword, drawing the power from the shrine. Daniel and Taki start filming a scene, but Kevin rides up as the Black Knight, challenging Daniel to a duel and kidnaps Taki. Daniel and Kevin get into a fight on Tower Bridge, but Kevin is clearly too powerful and the shrine goes into the water, with Taki close behind it, and Daniel snaps Kevin out of his possession just in time to save her. The Paper Hero had a really memorable and terrifying section for me, but let's first touch base with Daniel not being able to stand chopping onions, so Miyagi blindfolds him. "Watch your fingers, dude," and some beggar guy gets his head caught in the window, but Miyagi sees right through him.
Dirty beggar have clean fingernails.
And turns out it's Daniel's Uncle Jack. Anyway, let's fast forward to the part where it all gets Indiana Jones. Daniel trips a trap that blinds him and the floor disappears beneath him, leaving him dangling over a bottomless pit. No thank you. Luckily that blind chopping from earlier helps him, and when they go to rush to the shrine, Miyagi stops them from getting skewered. Anyway, Jack turns out to be a fraud, Miyagi kicks the bad guys' butts, and the shrine disappears on the back of a horse. So that was my exposure to the Karate Kid, but what happened in the end? Did they ever recover the shrine? No, they did not. Well, that's disappointing. I think this cartoon and a martial arts based cop show, which I will cover sometime next year, are the reason why I got so interested in self-defense and took up karate in my teens. I always liked the old wise Mr. Miyagi because old people kicking ass are never not awesome. And I really liked Taki because I grew up on Kick-Ass Women, and even though she was a cartoon, I really looked up to her. It was a fun little show with a simple premise, and I watched it over and over when I was younger. It's a shame I didn't see the show through to its conclusion, but 6 episodes was still pretty good going. So there you have it. That was The Karate Kid. Did you watch this one as a kid, and what were your favourite episodes? Were you disappointed that they never retrieved the shrine? Let me know in the comments below or come say hi on social media. If you enjoyed this video, then please hit that like button, it really does mean a lot. Or consider subscribing if you want more videos like this one. Join me next time where I'll be talking about anthropomorphic footwear. I'll speak to you soon, and thanks for watching.